Well, hello there, guys. Sorry for the delay here with this series, but we are getting back to Strategic Command. Now, what we are trying to do here is actually take Denmark completely, and I think we should be able to take it this turn. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I certainly think we should be able to take it this turn. What I'm really concerned with, and again, this is a total alternative history scenario, so we're not really expecting to do that well because we're not going the alternative route. But I really am concerned about the Manchurian front here. So I'm going to do everything I can to pretty much knock out a few of their armies here, knock out some of these Chinese armies to pretty much like lower their effectiveness in future battles. But I'm really concerned that they can break through here pretty easily and get behind our lines. I don't think that's going to be difficult for them at all. So right now what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to go for some lucky attacks here, or hopefully lucky attacks with the bombers and the fighters to see if I can't knock them out. But this is the concern. It's going to be this area right here near Nanchang. And what I'm going to do is actually push forward a bit. And the only reason I'm pushing forward is to maybe try to convince the enemy not to take the position. They can also take Canton pretty easily here. So I'm worried, guys. I'm not going to lie. We are bringing in garrison troops to fill up those areas in Khalkhin-Gol, northern Manchuria, I guess you'd call it. And to actually do that, we need to, of course, build the units, get them over, and then put garrison units in their place. So we've been sending a few garrison units up there just to have a look, you know, well, eventually to take position in these areas. But it's going to take us a little while, and I just hope that the Soviets don't declare war on us before that, because that would be a serious problem. And we do have this other unit kind of trapped at Peking, but I think what we're going to do, we could even attack the enemy general, but I don't think that's a good idea. Could be Chiang Kai-shek himself. I'm going to go for some attacks here. I'm going to try to get some actual garrisons over, but it looks like most of our garrison units, it's going to take them a little while to actually get over here. So we'll just have to see how they respond, the Chinese. I'm going to go also to our Danish front. Actually, no, it's our Denmark front. Danes refers to... oh, no, Danes does refer... Well, Denmark, Norway? No, it does refer to Danes. But what the hell is wrong with me today? Shame on me. So we are going to take the Danes out, hopefully, and then we'll head for the Norwegians. Although, I'm also thinking that maybe we should go straight for the Netherlands, Belgium, and go into France. You know, the only reason I'm not going to do that right now is because we don't have enough troops on the front to make that happen. It is something we want to plan for, but it's not something we are going to do right away. I'm, in fact, going to move some of these units over there to the Dutch border just to kind of get guys prepared, but this is going to take a while. I'm even going to bring this tank over because I don't think we're going to be using him against Stalin right yet, although quite obvious to just about anybody that we're also going to have to cover this front to make sure that the Soviets don't attack us early on. That could certainly occur. We also got Bulgaria, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe we're going to get them next turn. We're very close to getting Bulgaria under our control, and there's a few other territories we probably want to focus on. For me, you know, two of the territories, I really want to look at Turkey and see the possibility of bringing Turkey on our side into the war, and Spain. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's pretty impossible, but it's something we want to consider. Right now, though, we are going to use our political points primarily for research and also to go ahead and pretty much purchase units. I'm not necessarily going to use it to do any diplomacy. Let me actually go ahead, insufficient funds. So as you can see, not even research do we have funds for. Now, we moved most of these units before we actually started the turn, guys, so typically on a turn like this it would take a little longer, but as I said, we have moved some of these units, so that's why it seems a bit shorter. It's really not, though. The goal here is going to be to stop the enemy from pushing through, and I'm not sure that's even a possible goal. Let's go ahead and attack some guys there on land. It's actually the enemies here that managed to attack. We're going to go ahead and hit the docks here, sort of damage the enemy docks a bit. I don't know how much damage it's actually going to do. Bring in the destroyer and open fire on that position as well. Pretty much anything we can do right now to ensure victory is going to be very important. And I'm just looking at all these islands to see if we have any other units in these islands. I don't think we do. I think we need to work our way over there. So that being said, guys, we're going to end the turn and see what the Allies will be doing here. February 1940, still a lot of war to fight. Although, honestly, like I said, we've taken Poland, all of Poland. We haven't given anything to the Soviets. Bad things could occur here, as you can imagine. It looks like we also have a coal strike in New Zealand. We don't really have to worry about that, or in Australia, I should say. We don't really have to worry about this as much. It's actually going to affect the enemy quite a bit more. All right, let's see the Chinese push here. It's going to be bad. I already know this. I just know. Malaya prepares for war. Wow, and they've also gone into Singapore. Singapore is going to be a target for sure to get in there and take it. And pretty much North Borneo, all these areas, Borneo itself, all of these areas are targets for us. Most of them are owned by the British, and obviously they are not friends. We want to retake them as soon as possible. Of course, right now, with the Japanese, we're way too preoccupied with the Manchurian front here. You can actually see the Chinese reinforcing a lot of these units. And it actually makes quite a bit of sense here, but they're still going to push through with the attack. I'm almost certain of it. I've played Strategic Command long enough to kind of know how things are going to go when certain situations occur. And right here, it's a perfect opportunity for the enemy to cut our army in half once again, or actually cut it up into thirds. And I think they're not going to hesitate doing that, so we'll see what happens. Okay, it looks like the French are sending over a few bombers here. So far, it's been pretty much like a DMZ. We are at war, but nobody's really attacked across the line yet. But it looks like the French are going for a bombing run, and this definitely leads me to believe that we should consider getting into Belgium and the Netherlands, like, very soon. Very, very soon. What did I tell you guys? I knew they were going to do that. So they're getting to Hong Kong. And it would be great, obviously, if we could take Hong Kong back from the British. But pretty much our main front is going to be up here, facing the Chinese in North Manchuria, and hoping to push them back all the way to Yan'an Province or Xi'an Province, something like this. We'll have to see. I like that we've got one of their armies trapped, but they actually seem to be fighting pretty well for a trapped army. That being said, that situation in the north, it's going pretty bad for the Chinese. If we can get just a few more armies in there, maybe 2 armies, I think we could absolutely slaughter them in the north and pretty much move them back to Yangkou, maybe even farther back. Well, maybe not. Look at those armies that just appeared. Could be a little hard to deal with. And look at this. They also pushed through to Xinan. So we've absolutely got to be a bit crazy here with what we decide to do. We either need to go on a full offensive and essentially cut the enemy off as well. So pretty much they're going to cut us off and we'll cut them off and pretty much redraw battle lines. We could divert north as well. It's just tough, man. It's a tough decision to make here. I like to see, though, the Chinese suffering attrition losses. That's great. The Anglo-French expedition fails to arrive in time, and the Finns sue for peace. Okay, so it looks like the Finns are at peace, giving East Karelia to the Soviets, but getting the rest of their country. Let's see if maybe we can bring the Finns over to our side. They are natural allies of the Germans, so maybe we can get them to join us. Somebody asked me in the last stream, what countries would I never, ever ask to join? I mean, obviously, you know, for lack of a better word, third world nations, any South American nations. But I think in terms of European nations, there's really no point in going for Sweden, as far as I can see. The Swedes are naturally neutral, so I think bringing them over, it would be pretty tough. All right, so we still have to get those garrison troops in, guys. Our iron ore imports from Norway could be threatened by the British, who may make a move to invade Norway and cut off our convoys. It is therefore strongly recommended that we move quickly to occupy the country. Yes, of course. Let's do it. Let's begin the invasion of Norway as well. So we've got a few German corps. Oh, this is beautiful. I'm hoping we can get them as close as we can to the coast there, because we're obviously going to have to get on a boat to head to Norway, but maybe this northern army can deal with them. I think the rest of our boys should go to places like Dusseldorf. We should get some bombers over here and pretty much prepare for the possible invasion of the Netherlands here. Now, we've got some garrison troops, and this might seem really cool. The problem is with these Japanese garrison troops, man, we can only drop them on the Japanese mainland first, and then we can bring them over. I'm actually going to see if we have any other armies here. I don't think we do, so I'm going to actually cancel that. We've got plenty of garrison troops to come across. Just get them on an amphibious transport as soon as I can. Maybe not yet. All right, let's get them on just a regular transport. And try to drop this guy off. I should be able to drop into Senshin. Yeah, there we go. So I'll move this guy up to Yenki. Keep on moving this army as close as we can to the front. And we got this guy to Sinking. We'll also get this guy up to Mukden. So we now officially have pretty decent you know, like garrison units here. And what I'm going to do, finish off this army. I'm pretty sure we can finish them off this turn. And can potentially not attack them all, not send all of our attacks here, potentially attack also here. See a few very weak Chinese armies, and I think we should take advantage of that. Again, we're losing in the south. There's no doubt about that. It's still very early in the war, but we are losing in the south. So I'm thinking the best way we could get out of this is win in the north. We're actually going to use our garrison troops to finish them off here, guys. And they should be extremely happy. That's not something a garrison unit often gets to do, but hey, listen, desperate time calls for desperate measures. We're taking it. Now, another thing I'm doing, I'm going to immediately start engaging this unit. I'm not expecting to do very well against it initially, but I think in time we could crack through. As you can see now, we've got him down to 6. Not bad. I'm going to get the rest of these units. I'm going to actually... Ooh, I don't know if we should move the garrison out of Sinsu. I'm actually just going to reinforce this garrison unit. So we've got some special forces here, a number of different units that we are going to use to advance. Look at this, for instance. We've got a beautiful attack here. Tremendous amount of damage to that unit. I'll put the special forces forward and attack as well, and show the Chinese we mean business. Alright, guys. So, guys, I think it's going to be pretty important here to go ahead and try to push into Denmark as soon as possible. I was really hoping that we were going to be able to get some amphibious craft, but I'm not sure we are. I know we'll be able to get some amphibious craft over here to land near Copenhagen, and that's actually going to be the first corps. Try and get the capital pretty soon. But honestly, the rest of the amphibious craft is quite expensive in terms of actual points, and getting to the Norwegian coast is a lot harder than we expected. In fact, I'm going to be bringing back every single submarine I can to pretty much go to this coast. As you can see, there are cruisers here, there are other ships here, and we absolutely want to make sure we can take out as many ships as possible there off the coast of Norway, because quite frankly, if we don't, it's going to be very easy for these guys just to go ahead and knock any amphibious transports, or most of them, out before they even get into the fight, and we don't know that. So with unfortunate feelings, I'm going to have to leave the Canadian coast there. It was fun while it lasted. We took down a few merchant vessels, but just not good enough, unfortunately. Now, it looks like I can actually get all the way to Copenhagen, and I think we'll be taking it next turn, using this kind of, I guess we can call it a land bridge. I think it's actually just a regular bridge. But can't yet get amphibious transports yet, so I'm going to get over here on the edge. Again, all they need is one turn to greatly damage our ship. Now, we're going to put this one on amphibious transport just to see how things go. I believe we already have declared war on Norway. I'm pretty sure we have. It was actually one of the options we got at the beginning of the turn. And another thing I want to consider is going to war with the Netherlands and Belgium very soon. We don't want to wait on this. The longer we wait, the tougher this is going to be. I'm also going to start moving those generals closer to where their men are. I think they're going to fight a lot more effectively that way. And if I can bring in bombers to Copenhagen, I will. But believe it or not, I think the Baltic Sea is kind of keeping them safe. This is pretty far. Even if we got there right on the edge, I don't necessarily think we'd make it there. We're also going to be moving these tanks over to the Oder River, and eventually, of course, moving them up to the coast. But a lot of these troops, or a good portion of these troops, I'm going to go ahead and get on the Belgium and Dutch border to pretty much prepare for an assault. There's no other way to say it. Now over here, this is a cause for concern, as you guys can see. Once again, just the fact that we have to deal with the Chinese. But I'm going to keep on going with this. In fact, I really want to... I don't think this is necessarily a good idea, but I'm kind of tempted to take my garrison unit and leave Peking just to be able to move this infantry unit up a bit more. Although, you know what? I'm gonna play it safe and not do that. Looks like we got a general here. Can we get a name? And no, it's just not quite visible. And we've already attacked this unit this turn, guys, several times. I'm going to go ahead and hit it with our ships, because right now our ships, they're not really doing too much. They're kind of just waiting for us to act. And as you can see, we attacked that Chinese unit quite a lot. It's down to 2. So it's actually pretty weak. And I'd like to try to weaken some other Chinese positions, excuse me, with our Japanese troops. Let's try to weaken this area very close to Changsha. And actually, that was a really great attack. The question is, can we carry on and eventually get a breakthrough in one of these areas? Because I don't think we're going to be taking that southern part back. That's going to be pretty tough. But maybe we can do something else. Oh, yeah. I love sort of switching out our corps and our armies there, and the 34th Army just kicked ass. No doubt about it. We need that to happen more often. Now, I'm going to move over here, but that's just so the Chinese don't move out of Canton Province. I'm really tempted to take this road, or this railroad, behind Hengyang, but I don't want to move these guys out of position, guys. Otherwise, absolutely something I would consider doing. We also can't necessarily get reinforcements for these troops that are right there on the front lines. You just think about it. It's pretty hard to kind of get reinforcements right there on the front lines. It's not necessarily something you're gonna see too much of. As for the rest, we're pretty much just waiting for units. Diplomacy, we can do a little bit of diplomacy this turn. Try to get some other units to join us, or some other nations to join us And again, Bulgaria, very close, guys. Like I said, they're so close. I'm just going to go down here. I want to see how Romania is doing. %60%. Oh, yeah. I'm going to invest 50. I don't like to do this because we're investing quite a lot. And we're doing these with the Japanese. I hope that's okay. I hope it still counts as moving towards the axis. I believe it does, but I could be wrong. I'm also going to try to invest in Yugoslavia, but it looks like we're going to have to wait for Yugoslavia. In the meantime, we will turn it over, no pun intended, to the enemy. Kind of let them take over for a bit. Oh, that's right. We got a few Italian ships here. I'd like to bring them over just to bring them off the coast, of course, of... I don't think they're going to get there in time, but potentially bring them off the coast of Norway. And here with our bombers at Frankfurt. I was hoping for an attack, but I don't necessarily think that's going to occur. Yeah, we might as well bring the rest of the tanks over. We've got to... I mean, we don't have enough troops to defend against a Soviet attack anyway if they were to attack. But at least we are aware of their presence. That makes no sense, Agrippa. All right, let's end the turn, guys. Here we go. And we'll see what happens. So, of course, First Corps, these are the guys that got trapped behind enemy lines a long time ago. And they're taking attrition losses. And, in fact, even some of our regular units are taking attrition losses there. And it's because a lot of these rail lines are cut off. This is pretty rough terrain. So, again, we really need to be quite aggressive here. Amiral Aglio di Squadra. Say yes if you'd like our ships to continue sailing through the... Yes, of course. Malaya joins the Allies. Oh, you dogs. All right, well, at least we've got some Italian ships in the Atlantic. Even if they're just for show, at least the enemy will focus on them and not our amphibious transports into Norway. I'm pretty worried about the invasion of Norway when it really should be something quite simple. As you can see, we also increased our development on, I believe it's infantry weapons. So hopefully we'll get that to infantry weapons too and get some even stronger rifles. Maybe it's bayonets that we're missing. By the way, guys, if you enjoy this series, please do make sure to hit that like button and drop a comment down below. Again, this is alternative history. We're not going close to what Germany actually did. Well, we're kind of going close, but we're doing things a lot faster. We're not giving Poland to the Soviets. Overall, it's going to be a tough one. Let's just put it that way. Really tough. What will you do now, Chiang Kai-shek? You Chinese dog. I hope they don't cycle out that army with 2 in it, because it might finally give us an opportunity to go ahead and knock out one of their armies. At the very least, they're spending a lot of points, guys, just to keep those armies fed and staffed with men, period. Now, it does look like they found our submarine, but better they find our submarine than our amphibious transport. I really want to try to get at least 2 or 3 of those out on Norwegian soil. And I think at that point, we could potentially take the capital, Oslo, fairly soon. But as you can see, they're completely surrounding us here. So again, I want to keep their focus to the north and not to the North Sea. Hold on, boys. Gonna get some Nanbu light machine guns soon enough. Just hang on there. They're losing men, but they're holding that rail line. Unfortunately, that garrison, yeah, that couldn't quite make it, and it actually kind of ruined our plans for sort of causing more damage in that area, exploiting that breakthrough, let's say. Alright, they finally got rid of First Corps, and in a way I'm happy because I don't have to worry about it anymore. But it was kind of doing a pretty good job at just almost being like a token guerrilla unit in the sense that it was able to cut off railroads back there, but, you know, really wasn't able to do much else, especially not attack. It's pretty hard to attack when you have no ammunition or food. You can do it, but it's just not going to work out very well for you. All right, Gracie Fields, visit the British Expeditionary Force in France. I believe this is a British singer. I have no idea. Somebody tell me in the comments down below. I'm going to try, at least until the end of this episode, I want to see if we can at least make it into Copenhagen. So the 5th garrison destroyed. Okay. So Soviet mobilization is increasing. Again, we're really trying to fill all the slots here, but easier said than done. First things first, I want to get our German units on the field, definitely. And we know exactly where we need them. They're going to go right there. Our bombers will go over here. And for the Japanese garrison units, I'm really not even going to worry about them right now. We have plenty that are moving in as we speak. So Tsinsao is going to be the next place we got to go to. Unfortunately, I think Sinking is going to be important too. We're going to temporarily move this army into Mukden. But that's, I think, Sichar is another city we have to break into. So let's get over there to Copenhagen and see if we can't break in this turn. It would be pretty great. I'm going to try to get the bombers out there. So it looks like our bombers last time, it could have been a weather issue. Actually, these are fighters. That's what it is. Let's see, can the bombers get there? Yeah, they can. But I think it was the weather that was stopping them from getting over, not distance. Because distance-wise, we're fine. Bring glory to Deutschland, First Corps. All right, it's going to have to be the first Fallschirmjäger paratrooper division that gets the glory of taking the capital city, Copenhagen. And Denmark is ours. That's simple, boys. Let's go ahead. Ooh, we can't get that amphibious transport there. Let's see what happens to this guy. I'm not thinking good things, but I think it's safer to go through Skagerrak than it is to go through the Dogger Bank. I think this is way too open, way too close to the English Channel. They would see us almost immediately. But anyway, guys, I actually need your help on this one. And what do I need you to do? What do you guys think we should do next? Should we just focus on Norway now? Or should we jump right into the Netherlands and Belgium while we can? Begin that attack? Do we even have enough men to begin the attack on France is another question. And do it that way. I really want to get your feedback and kind of see what you guys would do in this situation. And let's see if we can't reach a consensus so I don't feel too bad if I completely fail this Let's Play. Thanks again, guys. Take care, and I'll catch you on the next one. Don't forget to hit that like, comment, and, of course, subscribe if you're new to the channel.